Hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to the Morning Coffee Commentary. When I was a little old boy living in southwest Ouachita Parish here, we lived next to my mama and papaw. And papaw had no king snake that hung around his garden between our houses there, and that thing would scare you to death. He was always around. And but you couldn't kill him. Papaw would not let you mess with his martins, and you definitely didn't mess with his king snake. You left it alone. There's a guy that lived across the road. He was a professor out at ULM. He actually was, I mowed his grass for $1.50 an hour. And Richard Bird was his name. And he came around there. I was mowing one day in his yard, in his front yard. And he came around. He said, "Come here, I want to show you something." I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old. I walked around to the backs on his patio. And he said, "Look out there in that swing set. You can see an old king snake was on top of a rattlesnake. And he's right on top of him, just head right on top of his head. And that rattlesnake, that king snake was, he said, "You sit right there and you watch this." And eventually that king snake got around on the front of that rattlesnake's head, and he ate him, killed him and ate him. And then I understood more clearly why my papa loved them king snakes, and I never saw that since then. I'm 51 years old now. It's probably been 40 years ago since that happened, and Mr. Richard Bird was right. I never saw that again. King snake has no venom. He doesn't even look ferocious. He got no big, humongous veins. He don't have muscles bigger than any other snake, but he is a tamer and a killer, and he feeds on other snakes. Now, it reminds me of Jesus Christ, our King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Man, he was perfect, without sin. Most humble person probably ever walked the earth. Helped tons of people. Wasn't even a doctor. He was awesome in wisdom, and he wasn't a professor, and he conquered the world, and he wasn't even a general. He didn't even have an army, and he defeated death, and that's the reason and the hope for our salvation. So remember this when next time you see a king snake, that the King of Kings, without any venom, destroyed all the badness in the world. World sure could use a little good news today.